Have you ever held on to something so tightly that it brought you nothing but pain? Maybe it was a loved one, a memory, or even a deep-seated resentment. We often believe that holding on means we love. But have you ever wondered, does letting go really mean losing? Or is it the moment your heart is set free? This story took place more than 2,500 years ago. Kisa Gotami was an ordinary woman living in a small village in India during the time of the Buddha. Her life had seen much suffering, but then a great joy came into it, that she gave birth to her first son, a healthy, beautiful child. That child, he was her light, her only hope left in life. But like a storm that strikes in the night, fate was cruel. In just a few days, the child fell ill and passed away in her arms. No final words, no farewell. What would you do if the one you loved most disappeared in an instant? Could you accept it? Kisa Gotami couldn't. She refused to believe her son was gone. She wept, her eyes blurred with tears, her mind drowning in grief. She clung to the hope that he was just asleep, that someone, somewhere, could still save him. Holding his lifeless body, she wandered from house to house in the village, begging for medicine, pleading for some miracle cure that could bring her son back. People looked at her with pity, and some with fear. They didn't know what to say, only shook their heads. Villagers felt sympathy, but were helpless. In time, some began to say she had lost her mind. But one old man, touched by compassion, gently told her, "Kisa, go see the Buddha. He is staying near the forest close by. If anyone can help your child, it is him." Have you ever put all your faith into one last glimmer of hope, no matter how faint it was? Kisa Gotami had never heard of the Buddha before, but in her eyes, burning with grief, flickered a fragile spark of hope. She walked through the night, searching for where the Buddha was teaching. When she saw him, she collapsed at his feet, tears streaming down her face. "Lord Buddha, please save my child. I know you have great power. I'll do anything, as long as my son lives again." The Buddha gazed at her silently, eyes full of compassion. He did not reject her. He did not scold her. After a while, he smiled gently. "I will help you, but first, bring me a mustard seed. Mustard seeds are easy to find. However, it must come from a household where no one has ever died. If you can bring me that seed, I will bring your son back." Kisa Gotami clung to that final sliver of hope. She stood up immediately, cradling her son, and ran from house to house. She knocked on every door. The first house, yes, they had mustard seeds. But the man said, "My father died last year." The second, "My brother passed away." The third, "My mother just passed recently." The fourth, "My child died of smallpox." She kept going from home to home, and the farther she went, the more her tears flowed. Everywhere, there was someone who had died. Everywhere, grief had visited. From morning until dusk, from village to village, there was not a single house untouched by loss. Finally, as the sun set, she returned to the Buddha, empty-handed. But her eyes were no longer filled with desperation. They were calm. She knelt down, placed her child's body before him, and said through tears, "Lord Buddha, now I understand. Death is not a punishment meant for me alone. It is a path we all must walk. I cannot keep my son forever, because I myself will not stay in this world forever." The Buddha nodded gently. He said, "Though one may live 100 years unaware of impermanence, one single day of insight is worth more, for life is fragile. He smiled with compassion. Yes, people think birth, aging, sickness, and death are strange or unfair, but in truth, they are the natural law. Only through awakening can we transcend the sorrow they bring. The Buddha continued to teach. The wise, when faced with suffering, neither complain nor run away. Instead, they look deeply and see. All things are impermanent. And when you truly see impermanence, letting go is no longer loss, but the path back to peace. Kisa Gotami asked to become a nun. From a grieving mother, she became a bhikkhuni, a female monk, and practiced diligently. Years later, she attained arhatship, liberation from the endless cycle of birth and death. Her heart finally let go, not because she lost, but because she had seen the truth of life. Dear friend, are you still holding on to something that's already gone? When you hold on to pain, you suffer. When you hold on to hatred, you hate. When you cling to the past, you miss the present moment. Letting go is not weakness, it is courage. Courage to accept and to move forward. Someone once asked the Buddha, "Why do people suffer?" And he replied, "Because they refuse to accept the truth. Everything is impermanent." Letting go is not losing. Letting go is no longer allowing pain to control your soul. It is accepting that everything changes, and because of that, we treasure the present even more. When your heart is in chaos, even the quietest place feels noisy. But when your heart is still, even a crowded market becomes a sacred space. If you're suffering, remember this: you are not alone, and you can begin again with this very breath. Welcome to Buddha Calm, peace from the teachings of the Buddha. Each story is a lamp. If you see its light, hold it close.